We empower our client to turn compliance into a competitive advantage.
Today, I have the pleasure to welcome in the studio Kimberley Pages-Greslon, who is Senior Manager at Bearing Point, specialized in AML and KYC. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you. We know that AML, so anti-money laundering, and KYC, know your client policies, making life difficult for end users like me. It's difficult to open a bank account. I hear everyday people who cannot send money to Germany or who cannot get money from France. I mean, it's getting a little bit extreme. So I invited you so we can talk about it. And my first point is, how is Bearing Point reacting to this complexity of AML and KYC?
Yes, thank you for this question. So at Bearing Point Luxembourg, we have a dedicated anti-financial crime competency center, where our AML KYC expertise is structured around two complementary pillars: strategic transformation and operational excellence. Our first pillar is compliance advisory. So we support health financial institutions in their Change the Bank initiative, shaping strategic direction, design target operating models, improve processes, manage change, and select the right technology. We also prepare them for regulatory reviews via gap analysis and compliance readiness checks. Our second pillar is what we call AFC Factory. It includes run the bank dimension, so it will include all the day-to-day operational support for AML KYC activities, large-scale KYC remediation programs, and of course ensuring all the compliance tasks are executed efficiently and in line with regulatory expectations.
So you basically want to turn the obligations into an advantage.
Yes, exactly. We truly believe that AML KYC is more than just a regulatory requirement, it's a strategic opportunity. We empower our client to turn compliance into a competitive advantage.
Okay, but when I look from my point of view, I run a company, I'm also a client of banks. We always talk about this dream that I should go one time to one provider, maybe iHub, there might be others in Europe. I should show my passport, my assets, whatever they want. I get a stamp, and then I could be accepted by all the banks working with iHub. So when I listen to you, it seems banks are separately working on their own initiatives.
Yes, currently it's what is happening, and we hope that in the future it will change. But of course, we have a lot of technologies that can truly reshape AML KYC. And one of the most promising innovation is perpetual KYC, PKYC. Unlike traditional periodic reviews, PKYC enables institutions to update client data continuously and in real time. This means due diligence happens exactly when needed, improving both accuracy and efficiency. Technologies like AI with machine learning, robotic process automation, API make this possible. They automate identity checks, integrate external data sources, and dynamically adjust risk profile based on client behaviors and transactions. For clients, this translates into fewer repetitive document requests, what you were mentioning, and a much smoother experience. Of course, there are challenges, such as data privacy concerns, infrastructure complexities, and the cost of building scalable PKYC frameworks. But with the right planning and investment, we truly believe that this technology can transform completely AML KYC.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest misunderstanding when we think especially about KYC. We believe it's I show my documents at the entrance and then I'm in, but then of course you need to track my transaction. If I'm getting money, it becomes the AML part. If I'm doing a transfer to some funny country or if I accept. And I know that it's a big issue because several banks told me that, I don't want to give the name, but they just don't want to deal with American beneficial owners, for example, which is wild for a financial center. I think we have the same issue in Eastern Europe, that many banks just don't want to care anymore because it's too risky for them, too expensive potentially to do. And of course, if they get fined, it can be extremely high.
Yes, it's all with the risk appetite of each bank. And of course, for them, because there is onboarding, but we need to monitor also the clients. So if we have too much high-risk client, we need to monitor each year each client.
Each month.
So the cost, yeah, each month or each day with the transaction, the screening.
Every transaction.
But the periodic reviews will happen each year, and it will cost a lot for them, and it's really an important cost for them.
Yeah, and I think we're in a bad context because on the one hand, we have interest rate. We saw the balance sheet of banks are through the roof for the last 2 years because they were making so much money passively, just milking the fixed income segment. And on the other hand, of course, you have a struggling economy which needs startuppers to start, which sees a lot of international players moving across borders. And I know the risk appetite is extremely low for banks right now because they make so much profit without any risk on the fixed income part. So last question for you is, where is this going? Are we seeing like in the Draghi report, or when I hear about Miss Mezzola, or are we seeing the peak and it's going to now slow down? They're going to repeal some obligation, or are we going to see an increase?
No, it will not happen because I think that we are entering now in a new era of AML KYC regulation in Europe, driven by harmonization and stronger enforcement.
Oh.
Over the next 3 years, the new EU AML package will truly reshape the compliance landscape in Europe. Starting already next year in 2026 with the new AML 6 directive, we will introduce stricter governance requirements, tougher sanctions for legal entities, and more frequent verification on the register of beneficial owners. Then in 2027, the new AML regulation will come into effect. For the first time, we will have AML rules directly applicable to all the EU member states.
Wow.
This means that we will now have an harmonized framework with consistent definition, like the one of ultimate beneficial owner, but we will have also a standardized review timelines, higher due diligence threshold, everything will be harmonized.
Sounds terrible, I have to say.
For some countries, I think it will be a big adjustment coming, but I think it's good to know now that in 2027, each bank in each member state, they will follow the same rules. And for that, I think it's very beneficial for
maybe
us.
a word on that. We know the conundrum here, which is the rules have always been the same, but as you know, we need to transpose.
Yes.
And we know Luxembourg is a very, very good student of transposition, while other countries clearly don't really care. So even if you give them the rules, as long as they don't transpose like us, you don't have a level playing field.
Yes, that's why now they will not be able to do any change that can adapt the AML directive because it's one AML regulation and they need to apply it.
Very good.
And by 2028, the newly established anti-money laundering, AMLA, will begin supervising 40 high-risk financial institutions across all EU. This centralized oversight will drive consistency, increase regulatory pressure, and require institutions to elevate their AML KYC capabilities to meet a new level of scrutiny.
And so remind us, where is AMLA located?
In Frankfurt.
Exactly, there was this 2 years ago, the election year.
Yes.
And they were deciding, I don't think Luxembourg even did a bid for it. It was between Paris and Frankfurt. It's in Frankfurt, and we heard recently CSSF hoping that we still have a bit of regulatory sovereignty in the coming years. So thank you very much for your time, and I wish you a lot of success in the AML KYC field.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.